Morning. Yes, I'm inside. Why shouldn't I be outside? Well, there's things going on outside that make it a bit hard to record at the moment, so I'll carry on in here. First of all, I hope everybody's getting ready for their planned Christmas events, family members and friends gathering for festive season. So a big shout out to you all. But this morning it's about being prepared and being able to face some realities. Death is a very hard thing for many people to discuss, and especially for a Filipino wife. They just don't want to know. And probably the best thing that any of you can do is it's quite affordable, and that's to get a funeral plan. If you get a funeral plan, then at least you don't leave her wondering what on earth do you do now. At least the funeral side of your departing is organized. Also, don't make the same mistake as somebody who clearly is going to get himself into a big lot of trouble, and that is that dumping your Filipino wife is not a good thing here with all the various laws affect. One American guy apparently decided after making or suggesting his wife, or girlfriend I should say, come and live with him and move out of her area where she was working, and she was also supporting a 10-year-old daughter back home. And after a few months it didn't work out, and he just changed the locks and dumped her stuff down in a foyer, and he's found himself being arrested and charged with abandonment and various other laws that apply here. And they do take it very seriously. It's considered probably more than murder. It's just quite incredible. But in some ways, it's a good thing. It makes you start to realize you can't just go around using people. But the interesting thing is it works both ways. It applies to men and women. Women can't do it to men either. So therefore, it's a sort of a stabilizing effect on people. So just check it out. I can't remember who was the one that did the video, but it was an interesting read. And I think it was, I think it's Mike Philippines. Mike in the Philippines did it. Anyway, another one that I don't particularly like, and this is the whole point, with the passing of Mike Thornton on Thursday, sadly, from what appears to be a coronary effect, it reminds us how fragile life is in itself, and how one minute we can be this and the next minute we'll be dead. And for many of us, when we do come here, we come here to die. It's a morbid way of thinking about it, but what it means is it's the last train station in life for many of us. Not all have big banknotes bulging out of our wallets. We are just modestly, sufficiently able to live a comfortable life here. But for some who their cup runneth over, or so they say, they don't have to worry, because they can hop on a plane and go back to their US counterpart and live their wonderful lifestyle in Las Vegas, Chicago, New York, wherever they've come from. But for the majority of you who are American or Australian or English or anywhere else in the world, the reality of life is that once you come here, you're here. You may well do the occasional maybe visa run, you may do a trip home for a celebration, a particular birthday maybe of a son or daughter. But you have to remember that everyday life includes death, and you have to be prepared and make sure that you don't leave your wife, your girlfriend, to pick up the costs. And therefore I do recommend that you get a funeral plan. It covers all of the costs. But also remind yourself of, more recently, a reasonable number have highlighted on video channels here in the Philippines about how their relationships have failed, how they've gone arse about face. And that, again, is part of life. And what are you going to do? Are you going to hop on a plane and go overseas for a while? Time to cool off, time to reflect. Are you going on a trip just to clear the air? All of these things you have to contemplate to decide on how you best deal with it. Because, building a house, buying a car, having a relationship, they're all big things in one's life. And buying a car here is a big thing because it costs a lot of money to buy it. And it costs a lot of money to maintain it on the road. And if you dare have an accident, my goodness, you could be really up the creek without a paddle. And as simple as the message is that be prepared, be like a Boy Scout. Dib, dib, dib. Be prepared. Take the time and effort to be prepared. Don't just treat this as a holiday destination where it extends to a lifetime experience. It's not like that. Not just the Philippines, anywhere in the world that you decide to. You may change your mind. You might not like the place eventually. It might be driving you crazy. No power this day. Internet not working the way you want it. Noisy motorbikes, cockerels in the morning, dogs barking, karaoke, all these things that can really niggle you if you're not adjusted or able to adjust to that kind of lifestyle. For me, I embrace it. It's just part of life. It's a different way of thinking. It's a different way of living. To walk down a road and look at the mountains with the clouds dancing across the top of them, and like an icing on a cake, dribbling down into the valleys, the chill in the morning. It's such a refreshing reminder of life itself. So try and get yourself into a reset mode. It's not about living in poverty. It's about living frugally, not wasting money. We've done all that in the West. Hopefully we've put it behind us now. And we're now being more cautious because two reasons. One is, why waste money? Second, the money that you save can be used for a better cause. Occasionally you might want to help somebody, be it your family or a friend that you just feel that you just have to reach out and help. You have that ability. That's the wonderful thing about being on a overseas pension, living here in the Philippines. We have choices. We do have choices. We don't have to have aircon in a house to stay cool. We put aircon in for the baby. And when I say we haven't. The father has done it. And wonderful, he's paying it off. And it's a blessing for them both. Their daughter is brought up in a cool room when the heat of the afternoon is radiating on the wall outside. So you can live without aircon. It's a case of adjustment. Build your house in such a way that the rooms that you use during the day are not in the direct sun. They're in the morning sun, so they cool during the afternoon, so that you have a cool part of the house. Make sure that when you go to bed, that you don't have to, you can have a fan on. You can buy these plug-in fans that are 40 watts. They're just nothing in terms of cost to run. You just plug them into a light socket and they provide enough breeze to make life comfortable. Yeah. So it's up to you to do things to make your life better. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and we'll catch you later. Bye now.